In the first 3 months, I had an A1C of 6.2. And then my most recent A1C about 3 weeks ago was 5.6, which is in the normal range. I've lost about 95 pounds total, so I've gone down in kind of segments. I initially lost about 25, 30 pounds from 260 to the mid 220s, and then down into the teens. And eventually I lost weight all the way down to where I'm at now, which is about 166. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I'm 72 years old now. I was in my late 40s with type 2 diabetes. Initially, it started out as a nuisance. I would have the primary care doctor say, you got to change your diet and lose weight. And I did lose weight. And I had that and hypertension, and they told me if I'd lose weight, I would take care of both problems. And I did lose weight, and I became plant-based. And I did lose weight, and the hypertension got much better, but the diabetes really didn't. My daughter's vegan and plant-based, and she recommended that I consider doing that as a way to lose weight and improve my health. I read books by Dr. Barnard and Dr. Colin Campbell and Dr. McDougall, and followed their plan. Nothing formal until 2018 when I did follow a plant-based program in Rochester, New York. But they were threatening all types of drugs. And then I would tighten up my diet. It would get better, and then I would slip back. And so it was back and forth. So I could never just, even though I was plant-based and eating much healthier than most people, I still couldn't get it. And then I had seen the book, Mastering Diabetes. I read the book. I would say I was flirting with it. I would do it, but not quite. Do it, but not quite. That's what made me decide to just take the leap and join the small group counseling. When I joined, I was probably the only one that had been plant-based there. And so I felt I had a leg up, because some of the things the coach was telling us I had heard before. Just the meeting with the group and then having the coach review on the chat what you were eating every day made you more serious about it. So after the first 3 months, I decided to re-up for another 3 months because I felt I needed to set in concrete the things that I had picked up. Nailing down the fat in the diet, which was not the other plant-based doctors and programs. They talk about that, but they don't do it to the degree, track it and stress it to the degree that Mastering Diabetes program does. And that's crucial. The other thing I started doing is front-loading all my eating towards the big breakfast, moderate lunch, light dinner. And that helps a great deal. So in the first 3 months, I had an A1C of 6.2. And then my most recent A1C about 3 weeks ago was 5.6, which is in the normal range. First time since I've been diagnosed with diabetes that I've been in the normal range on an A1C. I was like walking on air for a little while because I didn't think it was going to happen. I thought I'd never see the mid-fives like that. I've lost about 95 pounds total, so I've gone down in kind of segments. I initially lost about 25, 30 pounds from 260 to the mid 220s, and then down into the teens. And eventually I lost weight all the way down to where I'm at now, which is about 166. I can't lose anymore. My coach doesn't want me to lose anymore because I'm at a normal weight, which is good. It makes everybody happy. Total cholesterol came down, and my triglycerides came down also before and somewhat after I was on the program. I was on metformin, and they talked about other drugs like sulfonylureas and that, and I said I didn't want any part of that. No meds. I mean, I had to take a very little bit of a blood pressure pill, but that was nothing for diabetes. What I'm enjoying is the fact that I'm no longer in the pleasure trap. Having flirted sometimes with not necessarily non-vegan food, but food that it's really just, there's so much junk vegan food and stuff out there that is vegan but not good for you, and lots of oil. Having flirted with that, I've been doing this long enough, and that's what that second 3 months did for me. Is that I was out of it. So now when I'm hungry and I'm thinking or dreaming about food, it's like lentils and barley or something. It's like, which is it's strangely kind of perverse in my mind. But I knew, yeah, I'm a mental health professional, and I knew that had interns, and I would train them. I would say, you got to get people to change their habits for 6 months if you want the habit to stick. I think some of the other people in the group in the last 3 months wonder sort of why I was there, but it was still just as important as it was earlier, just easier. And I'm continuing in the university program, the Mastering Diabetes program at university, and I'll have contact with my coach. So if I get stuck or need a tip or something like that. So that's very important to me, because I found that my coach, Coach Michelle, is very good at these little kinds of tips. I think somebody could do it without it, but it's much harder. And I think the chances of success are much lower. Well, I proved that because I was doing other very similar things, but again, not eliminating the fat, not front loading my meals, not as accountable. I would say to them, accept that it's not just a diet, it's a lifestyle, which is very different. But if you're willing to try a new lifestyle and you sort of have what you had before, do it, and then try to do it for 6 months so it sticks. Well, I just want to say, having led therapy groups in my life for over 4 decades, I've done groups, and of course I've done individual. The group has everything you need. The tools are there, the support is there, and the accountability is there. So I would tell people that if you're ready to make the lifestyle change, you don't need any more than that. That will help you do it.